You're listening to an archived Cabral Concept podcast. After listening to this show, check out the most up-to-date podcasts available at stephencabral.com/podcasts or search directly on iTunes. And now, welcome to the Cabral Concept, where board-certified naturopath and integrative health practitioner Dr. Stephen Cabral shares how he was diagnosed at the age of 17 with a life-altering illness and given no hope for recovery. It was only after studying and traveling all over the world did he discover how to combine ancient Ayurvedic healing practices with state-of-the-art naturopathic and functional medicine to fully rebalance the body and re-energize it with life. It's time to discover how to get well, lose weight, and finally feel alive again. And now, here's your host, Dr. Stephen Cabral.
Excited to be here with you today on this first host call of the weekend, where we have many of our community's questions coming in from all over the world. Excited, as always, to be able to try to do my best to answer your questions to your wellness, your weight loss, or your anti-aging based questions. Sometimes career, sometimes mentorship, all those different types of things. Happy to do my best to help you out in any way that I can. So what I'm going to do today is what I've been trying to do over the past couple weeks, and that's to point people back to previous podcasts if I've already answered this question in depth. And if I haven't, then I'm going to do my best to make sure that I give you a good 3, 4, or 5 minute answer to your question to make sure it is answered, not only for you, but then anyone in the future that does have a question on that specifically. So without further ado, let's get into that first question, and we'll sum this up all together. So Cameron's writing in, and Cameron writes in, "Hi, Dr. Cabral. My name is Cameron. I'm 42. I'm from Melbourne, Australia. I discovered your podcast a few months ago after searching for answers to my medical issues, and since then, I've been hooked. You've opened my eyes to the fascinating world of functional medicine, so thank you. My reason for writing this is advice on my Menieres disease that I was diagnosed with about 3 years ago. After a couple months of severe vertigo episodes, along with tinnitus and hearing loss in my right ear, I've seen several specialists," and then Cameron goes on to name all of the different things to do that he has been trying, and looking at vestibular-based issues, looking at food sensitivities, did an IgG test, saw that he had a high sensitivity to egg and dairy, used to also love consuming eggs and whey protein, currently on a moderate detox, would love to hear my thoughts on Menieres disease and anything else that could help. So Cameron, here's the nice thing. You can literally go to stephencabral.com/podcast. Now, hopefully you've already done this, because this question was written in, about April 15th, April 16th, right around there. And you can type in Menieres. So literally just type in Menieres at stephencabral.com/podcast. And also separately from that, type in vertigo. You will find in-depth answers on both of those things, because what I don't want to do is shortchange your answer. I've answered that in-depth multiple times, and I just want to make sure you look at all the different issues, everything from gut-based, candida-based, stress-based, inflammatory-based, histamine-based, like all the different issues. I explain them there. I explain which lab tests are great. You already did the IgG food sensitivity test. If you haven't looked at your own IgG food sensitivity test, for everybody listening, such a great lab for you to find out if you're one of those people too with egg-based sensitivities. So many people have it. Honestly, it's like the number one, it is the number 2 IgG food sensitivity that I see in my practice. So great for everybody to test their level as well. Okay, let's move on to Judy's question. Consumer Reports did another testing for lead found in protein powders. It was particularly high in vegan proteins, and one of the ones I'm more inclined to using. I'm wondering if the Cabral Daily Nutritional Support Powder, which happens to be vegan as well, is your product tested for heavy metals? If so, what were the results? I'm looking to see if you'll be always continuing to make enhancements to your products as well. All right, Judy, great question. And yes, our products go through rigorous third-party testing. The big difference between functional medicine products, functional medicine supplements, and just your regular supplements that you might see on Amazon or Walmart or your local drugstore like Rite Aid or CVS, is that ours cost a lot more money to make, meaning that they cost more ingredient-wise. They make sure that they're third-party tested, and we independently pay other lab. So basically, what I do is I come up with a formulation on paper that I want. Then I bring it to a manufacturer. Then the manufacturer that it has sources those products from anywhere over the US, or could be anywhere in the world. Then they have those products third-party tested, not at their place, but another place that certifies them to be heavy metal free. You have to keep in mind that the reason I do that is because I also work in a functional medicine practice where a lot of people have heavy metal overload, right? Or they have mold toxicities or allergies, and I need to make sure that my products are free of that. And you know what? A lot of other products besides mine do it as well, but only the high quality functional medicine products do. So if it's not like a Pure, or if it's not a Integrative Therapeutics or like Equilibrium Nutrition, our brand, then they may not. So you can just ask, and it's totally fine to ask, and I think it's great. And really, this is very important to me. You have to understand that it's so challenging as a small company like we are to make all of these products exactly how we want it. Meaning that I want it. So in 2019, my goal is this. So it's 2018. My goal in 2019 is to get certifications. It's going to cost me a lot of money, but this is something that I want to do. I want to certify all the capsules as vegan. I want to certify each product as animal cruelty free, and they are. But I'd like to get all of those certifications. And of course, that just costs money as well. So that's what we'll be doing in 2019. We'll have basically all the products we want. And then what we'll do is we'll fine-tune the encapsulations. We'll fine-tune everything about the products. So you just have to keep in mind that we still are a very busy functional medicine practice, naturopathic practice, where we see people all over the world. And we do over 1,000 appointments a month, not in person, but over Skype as well, mostly over Skype now. So just keep that in mind. And we're always bringing you the very best products. And you can just go to equilibriumnutrition.com to find all those out. So, Judy, thanks for your question. All right. Stacy is up next. Stacy, I'm going to take away your last name to keep it more anonymous. Hi, Doc. Would love to know what your West Coast book tour stops are. Would you be able to give me the location in Los Angeles and Santa Monica if these are on your stops? Stacy, I apologize. So always feel free to post time-sensitive questions at cabralsupportgroup.com. That's our free Facebook group. That fancy URL link will take you right over to our Facebook group. My LA West Coast book tour is now over, and a lot of those interviews and podcasts, whether it's on the Skin Confidential or Jay Ferrugia's or all these great shows that I did with Thomas DeLauer, amazing guy as well. We did a bunch of videos together. So all of those are all now published. I will be doing more in the future. I'll be doing more just meetups because I want to meet all of you. I really do. And so that'll be a lot of fun. I'll be doing those. I'm in Florida quite a bit. I'm in Texas quite a bit. I'm in California quite a bit. So those are the 3 states that I'm in the most in terms of doing interviews, in terms of meetings, all of those different types of things. So I look forward to being able to connect with people in New York very, very soon. So Stacey, thank you. And for anybody who missed it, check out all the podcasts that I named, but also you can find them on my Instagram account as well. And check out the Rain Barrel Effect, which is the book tour that I just went on. Okay. And thank you again. I just want to say thank you again. Every opportunity I get, thank you again for making that an Amazon bestseller. So really, really appreciate that. Okay. Alex is up next. Hello, I'm a loyal customer using the Dr. Cabral detox and the daily Dr. Cabral protocol, the sleep hormone testing, the stress hormone testing, and enjoy listening to the podcast. My question is about varicose veins, not spider veins, but deep veins. I have very big bulging veins. The first appeared over 30 years ago during first pregnancy. 8 years ago, I had laser closure procedure, not very successful. What would you recommend for treating or preventing further development of varicose veins? I do spin classes 2 to 3 times a week. What can contribute to enlarged veins? Thank you so much. Should I avoid a particular type of exercise? What is it that you would recommend? Okay, Alex, great question. I have answered this topic before on varicose veins. You can go to stephencabral.com/podcast and type in varicose, VARICOSE. Just as a quick recap, keep in mind that a lot of people with varicose veins, very, very common in anyone that may be overweight, anyone that's very sedentary, anybody with blood pressure-based issues. Pregnancy, of course, is another one. Why? Well, a lot of times that the blood, this is just in general, has a harder time being pumped up from the calves, from the bottom of the legs, back up to the heart. It gets even more difficult when there's more weight on the body, or even during pregnancy when the uterus is weighing down more heavily on the lower body. Again, causing a little bit of deoxygenation of those veins, making them look a little bit more knotted. Now, inflammation can play its role as well. Being sedentary can, being overweight can, pregnancy can. All that is true. Now, keep in mind that there are certain herbs such as butcher's broom and horse chestnut that are actually excellent and have been used for many, many millennia to help with this. I would also greatly recommend keeping the blood moving and oxygenated. Cardio is a great thing. I have no problem with people doing spin classes. And then I would recommend a couple things, okay? Vitamin C, alkalizing vitamin C. That can be huge. Alkalizing vitamin C is a great one. We'll try to link that up today as well. Let me put that in the show notes to make sure you get that. Alkalizing vitamin C. Okay, another big one besides the herbs I named, a lot of people get a lot of benefit from taking apple cider vinegar. Just about 2 to 3 ounces of Bragg's apple cider vinegar and about 6 ounces or so of water. You can just do that upon waking or a half hour before a meal. Any of that will work. A lot of people see great benefit and oxygenation through that. And the last I'm going to recommend, I see this quite a bit in my practice, is improper biomechanics. So a lot of people stand with their knees locked out. And because they stand with their knees locked out, they are putting more pressure, excess pressure, and unneeded pressure, undue pressure on those veins in the lower leg. So that'll get you started. And then you can also check out my previous podcasts at stevencabral.com/podcast. All right, Jenny's up next. Hi, Dr. Cabral. I've recently had my annual pap smear and been diagnosed with high-risk HPV with abnormal cells. Could you let me know the best way to get rid of this virus as soon as possible? Which of your supplements would you recommend? I'd like to add that I eat very healthy, mostly plant-based. Take vitamin C, your zinc, selenium, magnesium, B12, vitamin D. I also drink green juices and use superfoods like chlorella, spirulina, maca, ashwagandha, etc. But I would love to hear your suggestions on what more I can do, as I value your opinion more than my doctor's. Very much looking forward to your feedback. All right, Jenny, happy to help. We deal with HPV all the time in our practice, all the time. So you are taking some great nutritional supplements. What can I add to that? Well, one, go back to stevencabral.com/podcast and type in HPV. Type that in and you will see previous podcasts on that. And then I want you to listen to, this is very important, check out the podcast on how to eliminate, how to destroy viruses. I'm going to link that up for you. Destroy viruses. That gives you our entire antiviral protocol. I'm going to see real quick if I can find that. So I'm going to do the same thing that I would recommend to you. stevencabral.com/podcast. And then I'm going to type in virus. And I'm going to see if my own website works, because maybe it doesn't. I need to know that. All right, so let's see if we can find it. How to destroy viruses, herpes, shingles, and cold sores. Episode 760. So what I would like you to do, Jenny, is go to episode 760 and you will find my whole protocol. Not to give it all away, but it talks about the multi, talks about the D, talks about zinc, and then a couple you didn't name, such as L-lysine and colloidal and grapefruit seed extract. So check those out, all right? Episode 760 will help you out. Suzanne is up next. Suzanne is asking, Dear Dr. Cabral, I listen to your podcast every single day and it has changed my life. Thank you, Suzanne. I appreciate that so much. That honestly, I love to hear when people listen every day. It means so much to me. I did your Candida protocol and finally found relief after years of gut issues. Thank you for that. Now I have a question about a different health issue. I'm 41 and have been dealing with PCOS for 10 years. I managed to keep it under control with a healthy diet and supplementation, but after 3 years of having it back, my period went missing. Which supplements protocol do you recommend for balancing the female hormones and hopefully getting my period back? Thank you for everything. You are my hero. Thank you, Susanna. That was so nice of you. One of my favorites right there. So really appreciate it. So happy to hear that you did the Candida and Bacterial Overgrowth Protocol, or CBO protocol. It's one of our most popular. People get amazing results with it, and I'm so happy that it worked for you. I just want to make sure that you followed up with the CBO finisher. That's the Heal and Seal protocol, the daily probiotic support with the healthy gut support. Do that for 90 days. You'll seal up that gut wall. All right, PCOS. Here's what I want you to do. I want you to run 2 labs. One's most important. Well, 3 labs ideally. The thyroid adrenal hormone, that's number 1. Okay. If you can only run 1 lab, you'll do that. Okay. If you can run 2 labs, you will run the hair tissue mineral analysis next. And if you can run 3 labs, you will run the omega-3 next. And here's why. Okay. Thyroid adrenal hormone. I want to see when you feel like your symptoms might be coming on. So PCOS, any lowered mood, irritability, weight gain, inflammation, anything like that. If you feel those symptoms, okay, run that lab at that time, even if you're not getting your period. So we want you to run that. I'm going to look at your cortisol levels. I'm going to look at your progesterone and your estrogen, see if there's estrogen dominance. I'm going to look for high testosterone or low, and I'm going to look for high or low DHEA. Then I'm going to look at your thyroid-based numbers. Then I'm going to look at your vitamin D, and then I'm going to look at your blood sugar levels. We'll be able to figure it out. Okay, that's test 1. Number 2 is I'm going to look at your hair tissue mineral analysis. What are your electrolytes and mineral levels telling me? Number 2 is I'm going to look for heavy metals overall. What do your heavy metals look like? Okay. And then number 3, if we run that omega-3 test, I will then get to look at the balance of omega-6s to omega-3s in the body. You would not believe the amount of women and men, but especially women, who have lower levels of omega-3 coming from EPA that is significantly affecting their estrogen balance. It's so important that you understand this, that most omega-3 supplements contain a higher level of DHA than EPA. It is almost imperative that your omega-3 supplement contain more EPA than DHA. And that's because DHA can convert to EPA, but EPA cannot go backwards and convert to DHA, at least to my knowledge. Okay, so here's the important thing. It doesn't flow back uphill. We need that EPA to balance female hormones. We need it for anti-inflammatory effects. So important. Those are 3 labs that I recommend for you. Check that out. And Suzanne, I know we can help you with this. All right. Elaine is up next. Elaine is asking, hi there. I see you offer Dr. Cabral Detox, etc. However, some people state how it works in the program. Do you offer online services like a meal plan and workout plan together? I live in Canada. I was wondering if I could work with you in order to lose 15 pounds. I'm a 41-year-old female and would love your help. All right, Elena, we can help you in any number of ways. Like, honestly, so my goal is that I never want to say like, oh, this is an elitist practice. It's not. Like, I charge 25% of what, whatever you want to call it, higher level functional medicine doctors out there charge. Just think of like other functional medicine doctors out there. Look at what they charge per hour. A couple $1,000s. I do not charge that. I can't I don't know what it is. Just ethically, I just don't feel right about it. So what I do is I have tiers in my practice for different price points for different people to work with us one-on-one. Okay. I will put in here in the show notes. So again, everyone can just go to the show notes for today. Let me figure out what actually the show notes are. They're episode 890. Is that correct? I believe it's 890. I will, hopefully that's correct. But again, you can always, so 888 is my Thursday interview. Hopefully you check that out. That was with Ben Pekulski. That was such a fun interview. 889 is our Friday review and 890 is today. Yes. So go to StephenCabral.com/890 and I'll put in there the link to apply to the private practice. So I'll put in the link to apply to the private practice. But here's the deal. Honestly, I did this with this in mind. I created 4 main levels that you can work with myself and in my practice. The first level is this. It's almost free. It's purchasing the rain barrel effect. Okay. We're going to have a private website for it in the future where it's literally going to be like free plus shipping. Now, that's no exaggeration. Right now, it's available on Amazon. Okay. If you listen to this in a couple months from now, you'll be able to find it on its own private website. Okay. But basically, it's free. It's a low expense book that will teach you everything you need to know to get well, lose the weight. Because I want to be able to give this book to everyone in the world. And if they can't afford to do anything else, well, this will teach them. It's the book I wish I had 20 years ago. That's the truth. Okay. The next level is you can't afford lab testing. Well, maybe you could try one of the nutritional supplement protocols based on the symptoms you're feeling. Now, the next level up from that would be to run a lab test. If you run a lab test at equilibriumnutrition.com, the same place you can get those nutritional supplements is that you'll be able to get my advice on that lab test. So I read all of the lab tests that are run through equilibriumnutrition.com. That's the difference. If you run the functional medicine lab tests through equilibriumnutrition.com, I read them, I give my recommendations, and then you speak with one of my health coaches to go through that plan. It's a great way to do it, and it's less expensive. And then the fourth way is you can actually apply to the private practice where you get 3 consultations and you basically pay a monthly fee for 3 months. And we help you through every step of it. So it's kind of like all different levels. And that's exactly how we work with people. Hopefully that helps. And I'll be teaching this in the fall to other health practitioners. And I just believe it's the best way to go without a doubt. And the truth is that you don't need to write a book, but you can write different plans like, hey, here's our weight loss plan. Here's our wellness plan. Here's our autoimmune plan. Like you can write all of those. And for people who don't have the financial means at the moment, I just believe that everyone should be given the information. So in the Cabral concept, I give the information away for free that I believe that a lot of other people pay for. And that's because I believe that all information should be free. And then however you want to act on that is your choice. It's your prerogative. And I just want to be able to provide at least that first step. Okay, Elaine, hopefully that answers your question. And just to be honest with you, you could lose 15 pounds on the 21-day Dr. Cabral detox. So hopefully is helpful. All right, Yasmin is up next. Yasmin's asking, Hello, Dr. Cabral. I love eating your smoothie bowls for breakfast. I usually add plant-based milk, vegan protein, avocado, your greens, some nuts, seeds, and superfoods to it, and it's an easy way to get all my nutrients. I know you're a big fan of smoothies for breakfast, so you are the perfect person to ask. Is blending the foods as healthy as eating them whole? Does it make nutrients more or less absorbable or effective? Is blended fiber in flax seeds, for example, still as good as the regular or whole ones? Thank you so much for your answer. This came in on April 19th. Yasmin, great question. I actually just did a podcast last Wednesday. Check that out. That was episode 887. Check that out. Actually, it was episode 886 on the 3 so-called unhealthy foods that I recommend eating daily. And one of those was actually talking about blueberries and how they did a study. Now, blueberries contain carbohydrates, right? And they contain fruit sugar, right? Well, believe it or not, that same fruit sugar that people are shying away from actually help people with diabetes. It helped people to lose weight, and it helped people better regulate insulin levels. So you always have to understand what are people's ulterior motives for eliminating these superfoods, which are berries. We should be eating those. So check out that podcast. No harm in blending your food. One, it makes it easier to digest, which takes less energy from your body, your metabolism, as you're trying to heal. Okay, the other thing is like in flax seeds, you actually, if you blend them fresh, you actually can allow your body to better extract the nutrients from them. Just like if you cook broccoli, it allows you to better extract a lot of the nutrients from cruciferous-based vegetables. Now, is it great just to pop some blueberries in your mouth? Of course, there's no issues with that. Now, would I recommend blending a smoothie today and drinking it tomorrow? No, because it will begin to oxidize. So blend your smoothie, start to drink it a couple minutes later, and you're going to be good to go. So again, there's benefits to eating the food whole, and there's benefits to also making a smoothie. One of the reasons why I also like to make a smoothie is because there's a lot of water, there's a lot of hydration in it, and also I can eat more of that food. I can't, like when I put in my daily fruit and vegetable blend, there's 22 organic fruits and vegetables in a powder. One of the reasons I do that is because there's no way I'd be able to literally sit down and eat a bowl of like 7 pounds of produce. I'd be extremely bloated, and it'd be way too much for my digestive tract, and I'd be exhausted. So there are some value and some benefits to doing things like the daily nutritional support powder, the daily fruit and vegetable blend, and then add your wild blueberries like I do. Add those, cherries, add those other great superfoods as well. They're all amazing, and you can do that. All right, let's get into one more question. This question is coming in from Clemens. Clemens is asking, thank you for everything. You've been a tremendous help. Now, my problem are my calves. They're kind of bulky anyway, but by the end of the day, more often than not, they are just swollen. They are heavy, and it makes me tired. Also, it looks really bad, and my pants don't fit anymore. For the life of me, I can't figure out what it is. I reduced my water, my carb, my dairy intake, and that seems to help a little. Definitely looking forward to your food sensitivity test coming to Europe. Is there anything else I should consider? Best of wishes, and thanks again, Clemens. All right, Clemens, thank you for this question. I want to let you know that in Ayurvedic medicine, which we'll be starting not next week, but the week after, Ayurvedic medicine is coming. I'll be doing a once-a-week show, sometimes Tuesdays, sometimes Wednesdays, sometimes Thursdays or Fridays. It will be once a week, and I'll be teaching Ayurvedic medicine almost every single week, starting in the 900 episodes. We're on episode 890 right now. So this is called a kapha-based condition. So one of the things is the kapha body type has larger calves genetically. Now, before you get mad at me and you say there's no such thing as this body type, trust me, there is. We all know people who just genetically have larger calves. And some people, that's the kapha body type. Some people, the vata body type, it's almost like there's no calf at all. It's just like this straight line, right? Well, there are different body types. We need to embrace our body type. Now, is there a way to make them less bulky or less swollen? Yes, and you're already figuring it out. So Clemens, you're doing a great job. What are kapha-based foods? Kapha-based foods are very anabolic foods, and the number one being dairy. You just eliminated dairy, so congrats. You are figuring this out for yourself. Okay, other inflammatory foods, yes, that will happen as well. So what I would like you to do is a kapha-based diet does really, really well on more plant-based, okay? They do better on natural diuretic-based foods, cucumbers, and water-based foods like that. They do great a lot of times if the digestive system is strong enough and it's warm out with salads or with veggies like that. They do a great, great job with that. Be really, really helpful because they're more of an anabolic-based body type. Also, for that kapha body type, near daily cardio is fantastic for them. Okay, we're not talking about doing heavy weightlifting. We're actually talking about moving the body, getting that metabolism going, moving the lymphatic system so that they don't feel as bulky and swollen by the end of the day, and that you get in at least your 10,000 steps per day. Another amazing thing, I know that we can't ship it to Europe yet, but we will this fall, hopefully this fall. We have to get a better fulfillment company. Once again, we're always trying to get better. We really are, honestly. And that's why it's so challenging for me, because my patience in trying to provide the best service possible, I don't have a lot of it, meaning that I want to always be the best in terms of providing the best customer service. I want that. It's so important to me. And again, that gets more challenging as we try to literally deliver all the way across the world in Australia and over in Europe and all over the place. But anyway, so the Dr. Cabral Detox would be perfect for helping you to get back to genetically what your natural genotype is or your prakriti and seeing what your calves should look like from a natural genetic standpoint. But remember, if you pinch your calves, you're flexing your calves and you pinch them and there's really nothing left to pinch except for skin, well, under there is your muscle, okay? We can't really whittle that away. We can't make you too catabolic. But if you pinch your calves and there's a good half an inch or inch to pinch, yes, you can remove that, and we'll be able to remove that through things like the Dr. Cabral Detox and a good body transformation, healthy weight loss protocol. So hopefully that helps, Clemens. There'll be more in the future on this topic. Stay tuned as I talk about eating right for your Ayurvedic body type and your dosha. Thank you so much to everyone who tuned in today. Really appreciate all of the recommendations and all of the links, or I should say reviews you've left on iTunes. Everyone who's reviewed the Cabral Concept on iTunes, I appreciate it so much. If you haven't reviewed the Cabral Concept on iTunes, if you could just take literally 10 seconds today, go to the podcast app, download the Cabral Concept, or just click on the Cabral Concept, press subscribe, and then just write a review. The review can literally just be 5 stars and one word saying like, loved it, or that's 2 words. Whatever you want to do, it would be much appreciated. Thank you so much. Please do feel free to share this show with anyone you believe it could serve. Are you ready to heal yourself and then go on to heal others? If so, the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute can help you discover proven functional medicine protocols that blend the best of 7 different healing disciplines from around the world. I personally share with you the exact handouts and protocols I use in my private practice that enable people to get well, lose the weight, and live longer, stronger. I want to pass this information on to the next generation of health coaches, and that is exactly why I created IHP. We are the future of the health coaching industry, and the skills and knowledge you will learn will make you an in-demand certified health coach anywhere in the world. Although we have many medical professionals taking the IHP certifications, no experience is necessary, and half our members have no previous health certifications. At the Integrative Health Practitioner Institute, our motto is a health coach in every home. Our goal is that you take this knowledge and then share it with family, friends, loved ones, your community, or in a practice where you create a career you love and can be proud of. The global IHP community is filled with some of the most kind and caring people in the world, and we can't wait to welcome you into our world soon. For more information or to set up a discovery call with one of our IHP Health Coach graduates, simply head over to integrativehealthpractitioner.org.